You'll have to excuse me, I'm a little sick. How do you deal with apathetic people? People who, and if you don't know what apathy is a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of showing enjoyment or care. You know, you could be like, hey man, I got you this cool thing. Hey, guess what? We're gonna go somewhere special or whatever, right? You have some good news, you have some good thoughts to bring, to good ideas to bring to an individual. But this individual is apathetic, and they will respond in an apathetic manner, such as, yeah, okay, whatever. Yep, yeah. You know, in that sort of way. How do you deal with someone who consistently, and you want this person in your life, it's not like you can get rid of them, you know, you want them in your life. It's not that they're a bad person, it's just that they show a lack of enthusiasm, they show a lack of appreciation to the way you're coming towards them, the energy that you're giving, the energy that you're putting in their direction, you're not receiving back. You're not receiving the same energy back. You are giving them a lot of energy, and they are giving none back to you. So this is not a good system to be in, because you are giving up your resource, your happiness. And it depends. It can be mild to severe. But no matter, regardless, you are giving energy. You are wasting it on someone who is not returning it to you. And this can cause depression, it can make you angry, it can seethe negative emotions within you, and especially towards that person. Like, why can't they be appreciative? Why can't they be enthusiastic? Well, the first thing to know about someone who's apathetic psychologically is that they've been conditioned. This is most of the time the case. Someone who is apathetic has been conditioned by other apathetic people. As you are probably an enthusiastic person, so you've been conditioned by enthusiastic people. If you were somewhere in the middle, you were conditioned by people somewhere in the middle. If you were apathetic, you were conditioned by other apathetic people. More often than not, apathetic people are younger. Most of the time they're younger, or they're really old, right? Most of the time. Because when you're old, you're fucking an old fart, and you've seen it all, so you're like, fuck it, I've seen it all. I'm not really interested. I'm not going to be enthusiastic about shit I've already seen. If you're really young, you're just a brat. Let's face it, right? You're just being a brat. What's woven in their head, the neural pathway that is responsive to stimulus that is exciting, that is happy, that is good, in their mind seems, if they act in an enthusiastic way towards it, it will seem uncool. They won't seem as edgy, right? If you will, right? It's relative, right? Or they just are. Again, going back to neural pathways, are responding that way because they were taught to respond that way by other younger friends around them who they realize that if they give good energy, that they're afraid themselves that they won't receive good energy back. So they decide, well, I'll just stay apathetic. I'll stay low energy. And that's because of the fear of not receiving good energy. They probably at some point really wanted to give back good energy. They probably were enthusiastic at one point, but now they are no longer, because their friends fucked them over and just were apathetic. Now, how do you deal with it? It's not really so much how you deal with it. If you have a person in your life who's apathetic and you want to keep them in your life, but you no longer want them to be apathetic, and you know it depends on severity. If they're consistently in your life, you don't want someone, when you give them good energy, you give them good thoughts, ideas, even gifts, and they just go, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. How are you today? Fine. Right? It's not so much how you deal with it. That's not the question you should be asking. The question you should be asking yourself is, how can I make them no longer apathetic? How can I help them see that being enthusiastic about things is useful, and there are other enthusiastic people who will return the energy. You were just around people who are apathetic. Now, enthusiasm can come your way so long as you give it, right? And then over time, the more they're apathetic, they notice people are starting to be apathetic towards them, and they think it's not their fault, even though it is. Originally, right? Because they chose to adopt this characteristic, this character trait of apathy. Be around this person for a while and continue to give them good energy in their direction. Give them good vibrations, or whatever. That's what, some people say, oh, the vibes, man, You can continue to, if this is new in the game, if they are newly apathetic, if you don't see them a lot. But and then eventually they could start to adopt and realize, yes, it is good to be enthusiastic because I'm actually being reached by people with good energy despite, and they can start to learn that way. It's better to do this when they're young. And if you have been doing this, you have been putting good energy in their direction, good vibrations, whatever you'd like to call it, enthusiasm in their direction, gifts, then the only thing that you can do is talk to them about it. Reach their conscious on a conscious level rather than a subconscious level, where it's not slipping in under the cracks, but it's right in their face. You need to say, hey, I have noticed, and explain to them if they don't know what apathy is, I've noticed that you are apathetic. I've noticed that you are not giving me the enthusiasm that I deserve for what I am giving to you. I'm not expecting you to give up who you are in any particular way. I'm not expecting you to change drastically. I'm just expecting some enthusiasm for the energy that I give to you. I'm expecting good energy back. I'm kind to you. I'm generous to you. I smile at you. I say positive words to you. But you give me negativity, hints of selfishness, not really good, positive energy that I can work with to be happy around you. I try so hard, but I can't seem to reach you in that particular way. And if you are going to remain this way, remain negative and apathetic, then I'm sorry, I need to take some time away and begin to recover my energy, right? Be honest with them. I need to recover from my expenses, my discharging of good energy that I have wasted. I want to keep you in my life, obviously. This isn't it doesn't have to be some dramatic thing, right? It has to be terribly dramatic. And just explain to them in that way. Be very mature about it. Say, I'm not receiving what I would like to receive from you. You don't seem... I know that beneath you're a very good-hearted person. You're a very strong person. I know that there is goodness in you, and I know that just because that you are not enthusiastic doesn't make you a bad person, but I like to receive that energy. It is just because you have the energy within you isn't good enough. We are social beings, and we need to spread that energy. We need to, through our voice, through our movements, our hugs, our kisses, whatever. That's very important. So that's all I really have to say about that. If you know all you need to know about how apathetic people are, why they learned it, and how you can speak to them or how you can act towards them to hopefully heal their apathy a little bit. Because it's important to share that good energy. Because if we all are apathetic to each other all the time, if we're always going to be like, yeah, sure, fine, then we're all going to be assholes. And let's face it, apathetic people act like assholes a lot. And you know what? We don't want that. So let's, help them change it.